In late September 2021, Apple released some interesting updates to Keynote, including the ability to add live video directly to your slides. I'm going to show you how this works on the iPad, and then I'm going to discuss 3 scenarios that I have discovered so far where this might be useful. Now, the first thing you need to do is make sure your iPad is upgraded to iPadOS 15. It only works with iPadOS 15. And then go into the App Store and make sure that your Keynote app has been updated to the latest version so that it can support this live video feature. Once you've got all that in place, adding live video to your Keynote is as easy as adding anything else to your slides. I'm now in the back end of the Keynote app here, and you see this little plus sign where you can add things like bar graphs and some objects and iPhotos or videos, including the 4th item down is live video. So when you tap and add your live video, it just inserts itself right into the slide. You have a little camera icon at the bottom here that you can toggle the video on and off. And then just like any other objects in Keynote, you have these blue dots around the border of the live video. So you can drag those around to resize the video. And in the upper left corner up there, there's a little green dot in the corner, and you can actually drag that over to round out the corners of your video. You can also go into the format options, which is the nifty little paintbrush icon up in the menu. And you have several things that you can do here. First of all, in that middle tab, the live video tab, you can change the scaling of the video if you wanted to zoom it in a little bit. You can change the mask here. So while you could resize the video just by dragging those little blue dots, you can actually change the resolution or put it into a circle if you wanted to do that, or even a custom size on there as well. I'm just going to go back to my 16:9 here, which is typically the default of what you're going to see. On the Arrange tab over here, you can see if you need to move it behind or in front of another object, you can do that here. You can actually rotate the video in different ways. I kind of like the way that Keynote and Apple have created this little rotation circle here. And then you have the ability to flip the video horizontally or vertically. I find sometimes that horizontal flip is helpful if you are recording yourself and you want it to mirror, the video to mirror what you're seeing. Otherwise, you can just leave it as the default aspect there. And then lastly, on the Style tab, you can add a border around the video. If you wanted a different color, for example, you can do that. And then you can increase the size of the border. You can add a shadow or even a reflection here if you wanted to maybe spice it up a little bit and make it look nice. Now, what's great about this is that you can add video to literally any slide. I've got a brand new slide here with an image over on the side. I'm going to hit the plus sign, go to live video. And this time I'm going to go into the formatting options, and I am going to make this a mask as 2/3 there, so that makes that look a little bit more proportional to the slide. I can move that over, I'll round out the corners a little bit. And so now I've got this nice little video here where I can talk about the picture over on the side and the different stages of making a very lovely espresso. Now, if I go to the next slide, you can see here that you can actually add multiple instances of live video to the same slide, which gets kind of a little weird, but let me show you one instance where this can be exciting. I'm going to select this second live video that I've included here, go to the paintbrush into the format, and on the source here, I'm going to tap source and tap the little plus symbol up here. Now, because I'm on an iPad, I have the ability to switch from the front-facing camera to the back camera. And you can see the little reversible icon down there in the bottom, and I've got a document set up behind here. Now, the next thing you can do is you can name this as the back camera, for example. And then I can edit the thumbnail. So you don't have a whole lot of options here, but it's kind of neat that you can tap in and say, I want this camera to have maybe this little symbol on there, change the colors a little bit, tap done, and then I'm going to tap add. And so now if you have an iPad, a much more recent iPad Pro than what I have, it would support both the front camera and the back camera, so you could have that going at the same time. Now, to be honest with you, it's taken me several days to think about the best scenarios where this new feature could be most useful. But I've got 3 different scenarios now that I want to share with you. First and foremost, you could really make your own training videos just with an iPad or even an iPhone here. Everything is contained. You can see I'm recording myself directly into the iPad here with video, and if I need to show maybe a checklist, or we need to go through a flow chart or something else that I might want to share with a client or with other colleagues or my project team, I can do all of that right here from within Keynote. The second scenario, before COVID, I used to travel quite a bit and give some presentations to some very large rooms, hotel conference rooms, auditoriums, and of course, as most people want to do, a lot of people would sit in the far back, and I would typically have a huge screen beside me or behind me so that the audience could see the presentation, my presentation slides. Well, now I have the ability that while I am showing this presentation live from Keynote, usually from my Mac or maybe an iPad as well, that I could insert my live video. And so not only can the people in the back see my little tiny actual real life person on the stage, but now they would actually see me blown up on the screen as well. I almost think about it as a rock concert, where they show the performer on the screen so that everybody in the crowd can see what's going on. I don't know if I would do this all the time, but in some situations that it could really be effective to kind of connect with the audience a little bit more. And then the last option that I would think about first is I would never use this feature in a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting, at least not in the current situation that we are in. First of all, sometimes when you play a video through Zoom or Teams, it can be a little herky-jerky, depending on the bandwidth, etc. And second of all, Zoom and Teams already have a method for you to have live video while you are showing your slides. And so that would just kind of be a little redundant. But I have seen one instance where I think this could be helpful. And I'll jump out of my slides here, and I'm going to add live video, but I am going to change the source here. So instead of the front camera, I'm going to have the back camera. So the point that I would get to here is, while I'm in a Zoom meeting, people, the audience, could be watching my live video feed through Zoom. They could be seeing my slides through the share screen in Zoom, and then I could have a live video in the back camera, for example, where I could be showing an object or a document. And I just really think that works out pretty nifty there as well. So if this was helpful for you to understand a little bit more about how to use the live video feature within Keynote now, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. If you have any other questions, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also visit me at appsandlaw.com for more information. And then inthenewspodcast.com is my weekly podcast that I host with Jeff Richardson from iPhone JD. Thanks for watching.